I feel like the same rule applies to them. They could change this up entirely. You have the Lu, you have the crowd control. You technically could go in for a Mathilda here because you have Fredrin with the setup energy eruption, and you also have a lot of crowd control from the Lu.
One thing to note, Mathilda, this is what MPL Indonesia has picked up. For you to fight against Mathilda, you pick up that Khalid. So this Khalid is also showing to Fnatic on the Philippines that we know that Mathilda is in your arsenal. We have the deterrent for that pick.
TLID, you gotta come up with something here. They go for the max, they go for the stiff arm, they go for the ability to
help out in these objectives. It's something that they had trouble with last time that we saw. Final pick, EXP lane. What about the CC? Against, it shreds down on this Fredrin.
Is good against the Fredrin.
The only one.
Can't survive diversion ambushes. Instead, they go for the old favorite, the Phoveus. That's what, 1 to 3 dashes?
Yeah.
So far.
And right now, Fnatic on the Philippines, final pick here, and they themselves pick up the CC. This is a pretty good pick, but gentlemen, so far we've been calling the draft. We know the differences of ideas coming into game number 2. TLID going up against Fnatic on the Philippines. Fnatic on the Philippines, quite in terms of the win condition. They have Kera, they have the CC as well. But now, thank you very much, gentlemen. But we have to continue with the show. We have to give it over to the casters for game number 2 of this best of 7.
Thank you very much, panel, for breaking down Game 2 draft here. Once again, 14 minutes on the clock in Game 1. Can TLID bring the series even, 1-1 in this best of 7? Gideon, how do you feel about the lineup?
I think it's going to be a little bit hard, right? Lane-to-lane matchups obviously leaning towards gold, but hopefully they can get enough of a lead on Aaron Cheeky and hold it until about mid-game where he can pop off. Otherwise, for Nop, that is, I mean...
Yeah. The Fredrin speaks for itself. The CC2, Fredrin against Joyce, CC against that Khalid and the Phoveus matchup.
We'll see if it's all going to come to place once again. Team Liquid ID, a different lineup, able to fight the range that we saw earlier and maybe even contain Kelra. The gold standard on the Bruno once again as they go ahead and face off. But even with this, you know, the Fredrin has popped up a little bit more throughout now the end of the M6 tournament here. But it was a newer pick that was picked up a lot against these assassin junglers, or, for example, the Joy that ends up working out really well. So King Kong going back to a familiar and comfort pick, if you will, that the world was used to. Now in the mid lane, still trying to check things out here. Super Prince really low.
I feel like the world forgot about the 2 years that we had to deal with Fredrin in the
Can we forget?
I don't think anybody can forget that, right? But considering that Team Liquid has the Khalid on their side, they can force out priority, whether through mid, through top side. It depends on the direction that they want to go to. And for now, it's a help Aran get out of this lane. We're just going to let Aaron Cheeky do his thing in the gold.
Yeah, I wonder what emblems he actually went for here. If Aran actually went for more agility, Wilderness Blessing, perhaps to just rotate around the map and help the team get neutral objectives, or if it's more of that brawly style where he wants to go up against Kirk, he wants to win it out. Witty, though, on the other hand, this is a comfort pick for him. Witty the Wise on the Khalid. We saw this also yesterday, flicker out King Kong. Wow, that's quick for a Fredrin.
Yeah, he showed up real fast. Here's the look at the emblem. So to answer that, Aran does have the Festival of Blood, a little bit of extra movement speed too, but it is also just Fnatic Onyx PH that likes to roam around, couple tenacities. Again, this is a tankier Super Prince Luyi that we have seen in the past, but again, now mid lane.
Oh, no flicker on Witty. Reaction coming down as well. Revitalize. Oh, Witty gonna be caught, pops in. The healing, Kirk gonna be caught in the Curse Blast. FNOP and TLID are just poking each other.
I mean, this is just the kind of predetermined, hey, I demand respect around the river. And I understand why TLID wants to fight, right? At the end of the day, they can give up these neutral objectives, but they cannot afford to take that permanent damage. Whoa! They can jump right into the fight!
Oh, in front of pursuit, first blood for Aran. King Kong, though, picks it up. That's an Eternal Guard. Disengage now, Ton over 2. That's the kill over Witty. Gonna be caught in the bad spot. No flicker for Witty. Oh, no kill. FNOP don't want to chase. Fabian steals away the purple buff and gets out.
Gets out. Going to be able to take that purple buff away, but Fnatic on PH wanted to go in and fight. They will get it. I'm surprised too. Witty was still able to survive that. even without the flicker that he had to burn earlier on, but ultimately still even. You know, nothing too crazy, but the objective did go over to Fnatic on PH.
Well, actually, I think it might not be as even as we think it is, right? Fabian's level 6 to King Kong's level 5. Yeah. He had a previous 2-level lead because of the stolen buff, so I think that Iran was given the call, hey, if you can get a kill, that'd be great, and now Fabian will maintain that 2-level lead throughout this match.
Yeah, and the fact that Witty actually got out was just so valuable for them. They got the purple buff down below, though. It's going to be a gank. Aaron Shiki, good use of the Death Sonata to get the AoE down on Kelra, and it clears the wave just in time to escape. Up top, Aran's actually winning this match. Kirk brought back again, Infernal Pursuit. Ooh, that was not the empowered skill one.
Talk about the discipline, man. I mean, he held on to the Vengeance. They're going to take a trip, though. Towards the top side.
Fabian electrifying beats, gets him out to safety. Witty rotating as well. Raging Sandstorm, Super Prince flickers out.
He forces the flicker as soon as possible. Super Prince in so much trouble, gets hit by the Eternal Guardian as well.
Aran picks up the kill, another Infernal Pursuit. Now Brusco is going to be chased down. Witty rotating again, going in, looking for some damage, but Brusco should be fine. It'll be another trade on the board, and a CLID were capitalizing on FNOP's attempts.
Now they pull ahead slightly more for Team Liquid ID. And now Super Friends, that's twice, right? Yo, to Kirk!
Vengeance used up by Kirk. Can he get away? Witty will try to jump in. Infernal Pursuit. Kirk, so it goes to Brave by 1v2. Kirk slain by Witty up top.
Okay, no pressure, no sweats there. They got the dive off, they got the kill that they were looking for, and still we see that the advantage is held by TLID.
This is like a page out of the book we saw in game 1 from FNOP, where the layering of the skills and the timing from TLID
is on point so far. Now, can they maintain that? They've got themselves a nice couple of goalies, 2K ahead. They're building in now. First items all locked in, but this is Iran again. Pursuit now taking chunk. Pick up the kill. Fabian jumping in the back line. Electrifying beats to run away. Turtle guard not connecting. That's a good EDM reaction actually. Now, flicker forward. AOT. He continues move forward. He needs to hold his position as Witty has to slow them down. They find one in. Cheeky and they want to go for the rage Sandstorm. Wow, this fight between these two teams, nobody is giving up resource speed from left and right. No, I mean, it looks like you would think that there wouldn't be that moment, but then they crashed down, and again, that fight was started by Iran. He wanted it, but also now the two turtles in the hands of FNOP plus a turret. Kelra, one hit away, still might go down. Aran goes in. No! Here's forward! Yeah, a big flicker burnt, and Kelra just having in the bottom lane. Kelra with 2 kills is just so scary. I mean, it's scary now, but he doesn't have the Berserker's Fury, right? He's building up to a Malefic gun, which I think he should be getting sometime soon. In the meantime, I think that Fnatic on PH, despite slightly going over the TLID, the first item power spots are finally starting to roll in. Yeah, they're catching up with those first items. That's Thunderbelt now too. Super Friends just got the glowing wand, so now working on his next. And I'm surprised, again, where's he gonna go with this diversion? Brings in King Kong with him. Malefic gun now pick up for Kelra. They're gonna get spotted out, but Fabian might be in trouble. Fabian, give it a red drink, going in. Super Friends flickering back into King Kong. Now it's Katana over. Fabian locked down. Brusco picking up that kill. Aran looking for the play. Raging Sandstorm, the flicker. Oh, he connects, and now the Revitalize Hero from Long Witty. He's coming out, and still King Kong holds the line. Kelra again. And Kirk with the follow-up. Kelra gets killed down and wipe out. Just like that, 6 minutes. 36 seconds into the game, the achievable wipeout against Team Liquid ID. That's what we call a pinch.
That is a pinch and more, and they're going to get more off of it. Again, you're already seeing the lightning come out, and it looks like they want to play that way even in game 2. And Team Liquid ID, after that shocking wipeout, will have to readjust the game plan moving forward. Last turtle, spawning up Kirk, just holding his own.
He's a little too strong right now. I don't know how else I can say this, right? Just 4x a little. Where's he going to the top side? I'm pretty sure they saw the river crab get taken. How many times the fact that this happened?
Down King still looking for a fight. Witty.
Kill run with the side. Brusco picks up the kill. Aaron's Death Sonata does nothing. Kelra Slide tackle forward!
He's just showing off at this point. He's just showing off. I mean, what else can you say about it, right? He's getting away with everything.
He's sitting there.
He's got the super fan behind him.
Oh my lord.
If I had the super fan behind me too, I'd probably be as confident as Kelra, but right now they're already assaulting the base turret.
Aran walking up the Eternal Guard, not connecting. Brusco was able to dodge away from that one. Kelra is just munching on this turret from out of turret range.
We're not even hitting 9 minutes here as we move into that 9 minutes. 4 to 10, 7K gold lead. This is a ridiculous amount as Fnatic, Onic, PH are putting Team Liquid in a slow chokehold and they just can't breathe.
No, they can't. Yin Yang reaction. The balls from Kelra. Diversion from Prince. And the diversion is truly a diversion. The mid-wave comes in and Kelra picks it up. Reggie Sandstorm flicker, Kelra!
He's holding it forward. Aran has to hold the line. He goes down. Brusco cuts them off. A double for Kelra.
Again, the diversions will work in favor. Whether they send it forward or not, they make a win. And now working on the mid turret.
They're making this look so easy right now. And this is almost impossible to come back from. Yehezkiel just doesn't have the items. And with the next wave already crashing on, let's see how Fnatic on it push through.
Fabian on the backside.
On it. Oh man, Fabian, he tried to go for the flank.
Fights as if they're skirted as well.
Shields are being for Fnatic to work earlier on. So they all just have to wait for this Lord to push in. And do they end the game? Do they take a turret? How do they approach it?
Let's see. Aran getting taunted back up. Oh my, Kelra's just dealing so much damage. Side tackle. Kelra got the monster kill. Fabian gonna be caught in the curtain call. Witty looking for an angle. Both base turrets taken now. Witty with a quick sand guard.
Now they're going for the back line. Brusco's buying some time, but Kelra doesn't care anymore. He's going straight for the crystal to put it to a 2-0 for Fnatic Onic PH.
You thought game one was fast. Well, Fnatic Onic PH said we'll make it faster. 11:50, and now sitting at 2-0 in the grand final, best of 7. What is going on here?
They're looking like the more polished team right now.
Kelra has never made it to World Championship before. And the first one he's made it to, he might just get Finals MVP here.
He just might. The whole team completely locked in already, showing us in game one and game two. Panel, what do you guys think? Are FNOP locked in? What's going on here?
What we think here is that in M Series history, it's either a 4-0 or a 4-3. And now it's looking like it's going to the direction of a 4-0 because I gotta say the first two games, those were quick, but might I remind you, it happened here at Oxiata Arena. That impossible happened where we had a reverse sweep. But either ways, this is looking a little bit too much.
Oh,
Fast. Oh, setting the tone, Fnatic Onyx again. And
They're picking up.
it's funny because if Woody had more items, maybe it'd have been a little bit of a different story. This is literally literally a situation where it's like, hey, you're not built like that.
Something that I do have to point out, the mid duo coming in for Fnatic Onyx Philippines, both Brusco as well as Super Friends, they're essentially stopping what the mid duo of TLID wants to do. You want to rotate? Excuse me, sir, but let's have a 2v2 here in lane. Like, no matter what's going on, what they do is stopping. That Brusco as well as Super
Vice President of Onyx Esports franchise. Yep.
For Fnatic Onyx Philippines, could you give us your one key to victory for each team?
Just be themselves and enjoy the game, yeah.
Just be the chill guys.
Alright, be themselves and enjoy the game. I feel like Coach Yep is holding back a bit, but we understand why. But that makes a lot of sense too, yeah.
Yeah, Coach is very confident about his boys. So, better loss, any message, any like shout out to your boys on the stage and to our Sonics here.
Thank you so much, Sonics and Filipinos. All Filipinos that supporting Onyx Philippines. We love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Yep. Thank you, Rema. Okay, now it's a good time to start the game 3. So let's throw it back to the panel.
I feel like Coach Yep's advice is great for Fnatic Onyx Philippines. Be yourself, have fun. Can TLID do that? Can they just be themselves, be fighting all the time? Like, again, Coach Yep, amazing coach, that's his advice. Trex, what do you feel? Do you feel like TLID can take that advice?
Coach T, I mean, yeah, have fun, you know, but you know what's fun? Winning. Yeah, winning is fun, and they gotta step something up here, just point blank. I mean, it's TLID. They had a good draft in game 1. There were some misplays in game 2. I mean, even they're not completely losing in draft. That last one, I don't think the joy into the Fred one was good, but there's still just mistakes over the map.
Yeah, I feel like an element that you have to take is that use your best strategy. And I feel like TLID, that's fighting, but they gotta refine it, but they have very little time. However, I do gotta say, since they're using the ROG Phone 9 Pro, they can do it. Yeah, are you okay? I mean, you're really going for some game now?
Looks great. I'm seeing what else Liquid ID can do, all right? We've stretched the limit of the 77 current hero pool in M6, and I'm looking like what else is left. I'm using the 165 hertz refresh rate screen to go through the currently 126 heroes we have in MLBB, and I'm stuck looking at Suyo, that beautiful man. I think if he's left, I'm currently
he was left open.
Yeah, I'm gonna Suyo kick, so if whoever gets Suyo wins.
I mean, I don't know about you. Since you're enjoying yourself, I'm enjoying myself. We need some Hello Panda here where you guys can fuel your energy. Heck, you know what? I got full boxes. I got what do you call it? You got cartons. I got cartons of Hello Panda. We got cartons. And now we got Hello Panda, and you guys can too. Heck, I was walking around Anxiat Arena, and a lot of people are bringing out their Hello Panda. So shout out to Hello Panda and to all of you guys enjoying this lovely biscuit.
You know what I loved about the interview with Coach Yeb?
What?
I loved the fact that he was asked the question, how does he feel about Fnatic Onyx, right? They're up 2-0. Normally you would expect maybe somebody to say,
Yep.
oh, we've got this. Like, it's in the bag. It's guaranteed. But no, he respects the dynamic from TLID, right? He said, job's not finished. The Mamba mentality.
So that's what you like. What I like is honestly Ferry. Where luxury meets gaming with Ferries. First, M6 switch. Watch this. Green Ferry, locked in, Green Ferry. That's the blue Ferry. Panther strikes. All right, there you go. 3 ferries in one
desk.
Shout outs to Black Ferry Keaton as well. We have all the ferries here, and one cool thing is that if you have a ferry watch, you can ride their buggy, so you can go to the carnival. So we could have do that, but we're working.
I need to get a watch. That's what I got out of that.
You know what I need?
This isn't actually mine. They didn't give me one. You're gonna let me borrow it.
Since we're on top of things here, literally in the nosebleed seats in Axiata, I could use a secret lab.
Oh yeah, dude.
Too.
You know what will you be able to do with Secret Lab?
What?
You can play for longer because the chair is comfortable. Heck, if Trex had a Secret Lab chair, his daughter will stop making fun of it.
Exactly. She would. But you know, we all know whose fault that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Secret Labs would be great. But here or at home.
Either ways. Now we gotta get back on topic here, folks. 2-0. 2-0 for Fnatic Onyx Philippines. One more win, and they're at match point. While all of this is going on, TLID had time. They had time to readjust. They had time to re-strategize. So far, gentlemen, in my personal opinion, whenever TLID adjusts, it's honestly in their mid lane when it comes to the hero picks. I don't know if that's enough. Because so far, Fabian rotating the same heroes. Aaron Shiki rotating same heroes. Weedy rotating same heroes. We gotta see what else can we rotate around. But now we are talking to Beloyski, the M-chat here. Beloyski, you've met Kelra in MPL Philippines a couple of times. Is there anything you'd like to tell him? Kelra is a good friend of mine. He's always been a humble person. I see him as a kid who's always eager to win. That's why he's now the best gold laner in the world. He truly earns the title. Good luck, Kelra.
And it's that same hunger that has kept Kelra relevant and on top of world rankings all throughout, even if he's never won an MPL, even when he took a while to get to the world stage.
And now we're looking at the average KDA. Look at the difference here. First of all, the top 3 is all Fnatic Onyx Philippines. Number 4 is Innocent, and number 5 is Aaron Shiki with 13.3. Double digits for that average KDA.
Because of the results of the past couple of games and their meeting in the upper bracket finals, Yehezkiel was prior on top of the scale. And now the Ghost of Jakarta cannot step back up. And this is what we have. Still, you know, just barely there, top 5. The untouchable one, Aaron Shiki. But yeah, compared to the three from Fnatic, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, and those numbers could honestly continue to go up as we go through this series. If TLID doesn't hit the switch at some point, it's looking like, you know, things might wrap up soon.
Hey, I just hit the switch, flip. That's what needs to happen right now from the side of TLID to be able to get back online and take this game under control, because they're running out of opportunities. Now facing with their backs against the wall, 2-0, and everybody knows when it comes to esports, this is one of the hardest things to come back from. So jumping into the next game, a couple of things are going to have to change. First, Witty. He tried to go in for the setup, he tried to go for the Cho, it didn't work out. Then he goes in for the Khalid for the damage to try and find the backline, and he lets the Yehezkiel pick up with the crowd control, and both methods still resulted in the same answer.
On stage, we just saw Coach Facehugger, now analyst / assistant coach for Team Liquid ID, and the situation they're in right now, old days in Aura, where they longest time wisdom is number 3.
Momentum being comfortable is being alone. Now we hear Kelra, Uno.
Maybe we see F danger here. Leave the jungles open. Again, FNOPs now they're ability, but my guess, you just ban the Granger here.
I mean, it's a pretty good ban, and again, if you pick up the Suyo, you got the Joy. If they pick up the Joy, we got the Fredrin. The Eve gets banned out, which, might I remind you, this is the pick TLID used to stop Snoggeray Giant. So this is a very good respect ban here. And now TLID, time to drop the beat of Flash, becoming up Joy.
That's a stinger, right? I mean, I feel like FNOP is putting them in a chokehold right now, right? They want them to take the Joy. They're not even worried about it. I mean, credits to Coach T over there, Coach Trex. The Fredrin is still on the board, and we know it's 100% win rate.
But that alone is not the problem here. You can still put the Suyo on King Kong and
Granger as well.
Yeah, Granger.
Yeah, exactly, and win the rest of the lineup.
If I'm banning Bruno, I'm thinking we definitely see the Granger pick up here, right? It's like, why even? Because now you give over Granger, and then what do you have in response to Kelra at this point? Who's been, but
Moskov,
against Kelra on the Granger.
Oh, Harry!
Now FNOP's, all right, so FNOP decides to switch it up. Fine, we're gonna have some fun this game.
They're taking risk here.
Well, there's no need to rush the Suyo. They do open up the Granger still. Definitely a risk because you're outranged. But something tells me Fnatic, like, they won the first 2 games with a very similar lineup. They're going, all right, maybe this time we dive.
I mean, I don't know. Personally for me, when you hear footsteps, you think of horses, not zebras, where sometimes the simplest thing is the right solution. But it looks like Fnatic Onyx Philippines, they're showing a curve here, which is very interesting.
We've seen Fnatic Onyx pull this kind of trick against their series with Falcon Esports. They could have won clean, and then decided to go, let's play the Yuzhong.
Yeah, that's why you know, I'm like, I don't know about this.
I think at this point, I don't know. It feels a little weird seeing the hair up front. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's weird at all, but yeah, I think Fredrin here would be solid. It's definitely what I think I would see them pick. But again, they're in that point I was talking about, where sometimes if FNOP starts drafting a little strange, this is a chance for TLID to capitalize.
So let me just say this. The reason why I feel like it's strange, because it feels like a trap, right? Do we not get this kind of vibe? It's like they're letting go of their Granger. It feels like they have a strat specifically for this Granger. So that's why I feel like this is sus. They're letting go of this. What are they planning? What's the strategy here? What kind of trap is TLID going to fall into?
Yeah, and then they go for the Suyo instead of the Fredrin as well. So I'm right there with you. I think they are having a strategy that we have yet to see so far in the Oxiata arena. But when it comes to TLID, he's got a comfort pick. He's rocking that Hilda.
Yep, he himself pushed the Hilda agenda all throughout MPLID, and now the world is reeling in the wake of this XP lane dominator. Going into bans, we still don't have mid laners. Instead, they ban a specialty hero for Witty, the chip.
At this point, I'm liking TLID's draft. Their draft is clean. They were given a lot of prio, a lot of great picks. Everything that they have feels good against what FNOP has brought so far.
Right now, when I'm thinking of traps, maybe I'm overthinking in general here, but if there's a Suyo, would you ban a Fredrin?
No.
No.
But is there a chance Fredrin EXP comes up?
Nah.
Maybe, but that's still, I mean, that only really kicks in what, that's going to kick in around like First Lord, but either way, that's when FNOP's been fighting. That's when they've been really winning out, is around that 7-minute mark.
There's so many other heroes left for Kirk to just suddenly go, yeah, I'll Fredrin XP.
I mean, I don't know. Because again, I feel like, and I'm
speaking of as well, the mid lane match for grabs. Look, guys, maybe you have to worry about Bruce go. All right, he's able to decide and gain capacity.
So what do we look from T?
The pick it here for
mid here. I mean, could go for the far right now.
Aurora grabs. FNOP could definitely. That Hilda's going to rush in. It'll be very
but wait and get into the back. Comfort pick for Weedy.
Deceptive.
We're on Google, and now the
comfort. You know, just more like it's too ahead of them in this. The draft something out just yet. Blood can work great in this. Not only that, but also we have to point out the lights in to revitalize that way, and also
looking at the emblems. Oh, around here.
Oh, in claws. Rotating over. Fabian recovering. That Baran gets away.
I don't. Still contesting what I'm talking about, right?
King Kong.
And you know, give King thing. The team still capitalizing. The Suyo.
I don't know. I think it's an early game. Iconic BH really blew. Let's think about this. Tap the Bruno. He's got. Hold on. Hold on. Fabian. Nice. And now hold up, man. Down. But at least he's able to small moment pick up these kills. Gold is going to Sagan quite a bit of a problem. And again, the hero that late game centric. You want to go ahead and build on the bad impact. Eventually, you're just popping damage from right to it. You know, for this Herod, different. Wow. Forced to go ahead and just wait out of there. Gonna be fine. Already early damage. I really hope he doesn't disrespect it. So far, he's been playing strong and run. Does have a level lead so far, but at the same time, right, we're noticing. He's making sure you have priority. Making that very first move, it's just the capitalization has been a little weak. The best start is clear. Vitalize to breathe for Turnip. At the same time, he's a left hand right now. They're just pulling back. And let's
in that before, but it's still revived.
That was all for T. the pendulum swing. Faced her, the...
By arrow, they find something on their damage from specifically about waiting for that cursed blow, looking to first step a little out of their comfort zone.
The most difficult thing here for Fnatic on is obviously dealing with where Fabian is. Most of the time, because of how far ahead he is in terms of damage potential on the Joy, they gotta keep an eye on the back line, and Kirk's been doing a fantastic job. I mean, he is tanky enough to go ahead and jump in around whether he has the Vengeance or not. And that's kind of a mirrored approach where your back line is both exposed on both lineups if you're not careful here. So they check things out in the mid lane. The Lord is up, and Kirk's going to be the one to go ahead and get in position. Now still, it's relatively even across the board that Tier 1 gets pushed in by the minion wave at bot as they get in position for the Lord.
I just love the fact that they're forcing respect out of them, right? Even on the bottom side, from FNOP, they're not spreading out anymore. They got to stay together.
Okay, so Melfic Roar already picked up by Aaron Shiki too, so that should be the power spike, 3-item power spike. You can see the damage, the poke with the feather airstrike as well. Gets Sonata. Kelra is out of the fight just like that. Up top, 1v1, Flavor Fave, the usurper in a 1v1 against Kirk. I want to go solo kill you, but it's not King Kong, it's Kirk.
Yep, it's Kirk for now, but it's not over just yet, right? 4 ultimates to 3 ultimates. The ult economy is looking pretty good for Fnatic Onyx at this point of time, and this is the very first Lord. If they're looking for that big swing, Fnatic Onyx need to win this out.
They'll just delay it a little bit longer. Team Liquid ID still having the revitalizers too. One was just used by Witty, still have the one for Aran. They'll give the go signal though on the Lord. They're gonna zone out Fnop.
Aran jumping in, it's gonna be stunned as well, Fabian claims it, and Kelra disappears! Aaron Shaky gets him down with the Death Sonata.
Where did he go? Where did he go? Just a couple of shots and he disappears into thin air. Unfortunately, he's not able to build up enough shields. The raw damage from Aaron Shiki is just too much for now.
It's too much for now, and this is the game that Aaron Shiki and the rest of Team Liquid ID needed. They get themselves another major objective, and now trying to work down some of the turrets they still have left to approach the base of FNOP, but Aaron Shiki just go ahead, post up, take down that tier 2 as the Lord makes its way down bot. Aran?
Oh, no.
Kirk?
Even with the revitalizer, Aran might have just made it. Kirk into the midst of the rest of the cavalry who just pounce on him.
Kirk, he's got to calm down here. I mean, yes, it's calculated from Aran's side, but Kirk should know better. He got very confident off of that, and this is off of a Lord push.
Lord push right now. Mid turret still being worked on. A feathered airstrike dropped down. Wow, a lot of shots for King Kong. Shields are going to be popping here, though. Lord almost gone. The last one will go down, though, as Lord is cleared out. So FNOP will hold on to the base turrets pretty healthily.
For now, at least they can breathe. At least they can, take their time and rethink their strategies. Because I think the hardest part is getting the right people to group together. Ideally, you want to get that curtain call on both Aaron Shiki and Yeheskill. Maybe ideally Fabian as well, with basically any of their front lines.
You still want to go in, Kirk. Feather airstrike on the Super Priest leads like this shit, and the glowing one. Super Priest gonna get the bad impact just in time. Another feather airstrike over to Kelra. Very low on Kelra and Kirk. Prince able to clear out the wave in the bottom lane, and that is it. But man, the kill threat.
He was burning.
He was hurting a lot. That was glowing wand on top of the... Oh my, it could have gone bad. Super Prince luckily pops his ult in time and conveniently has minions down by the bot side of the map.
Could have been real bad.
It could have been real bad. Even running with that. Again, all Super Prince wants to do is continue to build up on the stacks.
Stack them up.
That he has. Glowing wand, wishing lantern now. You can see it there. 216 stacks for the Sicilian. So the later the game gets dragged on, then Super Prince becomes pretty devastating in terms of damage, but you saw it too. The stacks for Aaron Shiki, he deleted Kelra earlier on.
Yeah, I mean, he's 695, he's about to hit 700, and it's only like 1230 in the game so far. I mean, he's been stacking up really, really nicely, and I do like the way the TLID is adjusted.
You can see the purchase for Witty. Anti-Curse into 2nd item Twilight Armor, so he has ways to deal with the poke that will... He's on that bad. It won't really have that punch anymore with the Twilight Armor. You can just constantly take that damage, back away, wait for it, Kelra.
Kelra
from the back, Wilderness! That's a big bomb. No, that's not either. Course of blood from Winnie.
That's 3 members already down, and Kirky's got no pushing power as Faviat starts running in with the rest of the squad. It's going to be the Vengeance already. Papa with no minions. What?
Okay, there's the push in from the Cavalry they're looking for in game of 3. FNOP will still try to defend, but they're going to have to make this work.
Only Kirk left now. Gun down the Rhapsody and that Sky Piercer. The Cavalry are alive.
Ooh, they breathe life into another game, extending the series. They're not going to let FNOP get to match point just yet, not without at least one Stampede down.
They came through as a Stampede in game 3. We talked about the adjustments leading in this one, and it was apparent here from start to finish. They show that they have fight in them right here for this series.
And you can see how the Carmilla was a comfort for Witty the Wise.
Yep. It was a great pick, unique draft once again. We're going to have to go ahead and throw it over to the panel to break down game number 3 and see what they thought about this result.
TLID was able to take down Fnatic Onyx Philippines in game number 3. The question is it an outplay or a mistake? Trax, what do you think?
I mean, TLID, I think they were able to execute some things there. They were on fire, and FNOP, honestly, a little bit on the fritz there, man. Had a little bit of a glitch in draft, at least in my opinion. And then even in some of the gameplay, we and then even in some of the gameplay, saw Kelra get caught. TLID, when we first started the night and we talked about win cons for TLID, it was take advantage of these playful moments, take advantage of these glitches in the system, and then build momentum off of it. So Fnatic Onyx, they have 2 choices. They keep on messing around, and they let TLID catch up, and then it's risk factor. Then it gets risky. Then they find out that, oh man, TLID has momentum now, and now they're really playing and growing. Now they're adapting. So Fnatic Onyx, they need to quickly get things back together.
Yeah, this was interesting too, because you pick up the Joy, and I would have sworn the Fredrin 100% win rate would have been the thing picked up here from King Kong. But instead, decides to go for the Suyo, and then you have the Sicilian, the late game special. But I mean, this is a 13-minute game. We saw the stacks, they just weren't scaling.
You know what? There were moments where the Suyo wasn't even bad. Like, I think Suyo into Joy, running it like this, especially if you're confident, as King Kong isn't wrong. I think where it really fell off was how Kirk was just holding down the fort, even when he didn't have to, for the sake of that Sicilian, to try and buy time and space on the map so that the rest of them can approach that power spike. Even at Harry, there was a moment where in the bottom lane, Harry was just dancing around Aran and pushing that bottom lane tier 1, but what after that? Where do we go from there? I don't think Super Prince wanted to be in these situations this early on, because we saw his stacks early, right? And they're not very high for like a 12-minute game time.
Yeah, there's also this, you know, with Kirk, what we just saw from the items, he's very late to pick up any magic defense. Yes, he gets the tough boots, but into the War Axe, into Brute Force Breastplate, and you're in this tough position because you have Aaron Shiki, who's dishing out insane damage. You have Fabian and a Farza, who's dishing out insane damage, and every time we saw Kirk go in, trying to do Kirky things, he gets taken out very quickly, even when that one moment he thought he had her on.
Yeah, and speaking of Aran, I mean, he's running that Hilda special, right? You've seen him dominate in TLID, with TLID in Season 14 of MPL, and you see the domination here again over Kirk, who was just caught out of position so many times. I mean, look at the difference in damage between Aaron Shiki and Kelra.
Kelra did just as much as Brusco.
And that's not very much. If anything, Brusco dealt more. You look at that number. Talking about Kelra here, he is a short to mid-range mage. He likes to play in the paint. And when you're in the paint, Widdy picked the right hero. If you're going to run straight into Team Liquid ID, Widdy just puts up the Curse of Blood, and you suddenly have to find another angle. Aran is just right around the corner to punish you. I think Fnatic Onyx really have to tighten up the screws and fix this Game 4 draft. Like, that's just the main answer here. That's how they drop this game.
Yeah, when we're at this peak of, when we're at the grand finals, and I think many grand finals before this, so many things comes out to 1 or 2 picks in a draft. So many things comes down to these coaches and what they give their teams. And TLID kind of risked it there, right? They go for the Joy first pick. They risk giving over the Granger, but in the end, we have our MVP.
Yep, the usurper Favian here using the Joy when he has the space to do it. Oh my God, he will take the chance and he will do it. Honestly, looking at the lineup here, there's a lot of opportunities for TLID to make sure that Favian really shows up with the Joy. And I feel like that's the secret recipe here, where they have Aran as well as Widdy, where Widdy was taking a lot of shots. But once Widdy has that Twilight armor, he's able to tank up, he's able to wait for the right opportunity to use that Cursed Blood. There's a lot of distractions, and then Fabian just goes through the cracks.
Yeah, and there wasn't really too much punish on the Joy pickup, right? I mean, it looked like for the side of Fnatic Onyx, they were trying a little bit of an experimental draft, trying to find another way around it without having to go with a traditional counter-engaged Fredrin or a Belleric to go up against it, and it just doesn't work out. I feel like at this point in M6, you have to go for the harder counter.
Yeah, so taking a look at some of these highlights, Fabian, clean game in the beginning, even playing a little bit risky in this first fight. Maybe he decides to come back in, but he knows his team's there, picks up the extra kill, and we get to a point where Fabian just starts to scale out of control. He's second item, he goes from Starling Scythe straight into Holy Crystal, and that's when we know, I think there was a point.
Yep, just second. Farming heroes. Then he could have had that on to King Kong and replay almost half
fighting factor.
We're 5. I think if
only if then definitely. I think it's gonna be our big decider on when this is all gonna.
Yeah. I'm willing to take. I'm not gonna go for the experimental draft, especially with all of this on the line. In the Arena, grand finals, a chance to be a world champion. That's not a time to experiment. That's where you go straight to the basics and you work with things that have been tested, things that have been proven time and time again.
So we're seeing that probably game is going to be the real FNOP. But before that, we got a quote here coming in from Widdy from TL Wise. We have to see what he has to say. Widdy RG was an intense match for us. Aside our egos and personal issues, prioritizing this match above all else. In the past, we didn't play as a team. We focus on our individual games. Against FNOP, we're committed to pushing ourselves to the limit, aiming to bring the championship title back to. Interesting quote here from Widdy.
I mean, I like how he said SRG was an intense match for us because they 3 and they made it look very clean. TLID were so dominant. So definitely a little bit of humbleness there. Now I'm wondering, if they want this championship title, they need to bring out that beast that we saw from them the past couple days.
And every single game so far in this best of 7, they have. It's not like the draft was bad for TLID in any of those games. It's actually weird that it's Fnatic Onyx that we're actually pointing out that had a weird lineup going into that bout. So I agree. Widdy, just focus on your gameplay. Focus on asking St. DeLucas and Facehugger for a good draft. And if you get it, just play better than going in the game. Things are going to change.
Right, when he said go SRG, play more as a team and not individual games. Like I've seen the match against SRG. potential competition, and that really put a pedestal up for the side of TLID to be able to step on. And they were able to step on it, and they learned from the experience. But now it's using that experience and translating it into this game. Now, they got a match off Fnatic Onyx. Can they ride that momentum?
We'll have to see. A couple minutes till draft. You know, TLID, I think when I want to talk about how they come into this match, right? They just came off of a big swing. You know, do they still come in with the same idea? Do they feel the way that we feel, that maybe, you know, if not messed up in draft? You know, like, it's kind of...
That's out of your control. As a competitor, as an athlete, if you know in yourself that you won because your opponent did a certain few things wrong before the match even started, how do you deal with that? It's irreplicable. You can't go like, all right, I hope they do that again. I hope they pick the Harith early again.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't even look at that game. I would look at the game before, where the mistakes actually happened, when it was an even playing field, where it was a more even draft, because I don't expect... You said lightning struck twice. It's not going to strike twice again, right? There's a reason you said that, and I feel like stepping into the next draft, it should be a little bit harder of a challenge for TLID. So I think looking back at the previous games where they did lose in the micro engagement is what's going to make the difference overall for this series.
And now we're looking at player head-to-head here, and I kind of feel like this is what we're going to see a lot in this game. Between Brusco as well as Weedy, it does feel like Weedy will be the one to take the brunt of the damage here compared to Brusco, because in terms of the mid-trio aggression, it does seem like Onyx is a little bit more compared to TLID.
All right, if there's anything to take away from this, it's not what's on screen. It's something that isn't. The fact that Aran took so much damage in game number 3 to help spread it out between him and Weedy might be a key to victory for Team Liquid ID. If this, what is this, 13,000 that Weedy is taking more from Brusco is spread out between him and Aran, maybe they can take more fights wherein it's not a 4v5, a 3v5. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Liquid ID can keep the numbers game fair, then maybe even more they can find ways to like shut down Kelra, shut down King Kong.
Yeah, look for those. I think a lot of it comes down to them tightening up, looking for those, you know, more clustered team fights to where they're not as spread out, because we saw it in game 1 and even a little bit in game 2, you know, FNOP really capitalized when they're able to disperse them. You know, Kelwer will find Witty in the back line, kind of broken off from the team. Then Kelwer comes in late. So if TLID is able to group up, they're able to disperse some of that damage.
Which is weird, because Fnatic Onyx are specialists at this scrambled style of team fighting. That's where Brusco can get away, heal up for like 2 seconds, come back, punch someone in the face, and then be part of the fight all over again. How do they hit this balance? How do they make that happen over and over again? Besides, again, besides a weird draft, again, secrets up to them. It's up to Coach St. DeLucas and Facehugger to remind them how to get that.
Yeah, you got to out-bruise the bruiser. I think that's one of the keys to victory for the side of TLID. I mean, we see him on the Gatot. We see him with these initiations. The majority of these games, if I'm not mistaken, were they all Gatot games from Brusco so far?
Yes.
They were.
3 games in a row.
3 games in a row. See, and that's a key to victory right there. Just finding a way to shut him
picked up here by TLID. They go for the Claude.
Where are these teams going?
There's nothing really tanky on the side of FNOB. I mean, of course, there's gonna be. Claude, though, I mean, it's quick movement, it's quick pace. You have Lu Yi, you have Chip, you have Claude.
Does an old favorite like Arlott come through? You still need an answer to those dudes coming through the portal, right?
TLID needs some kind of tank here because Chip ain't that tanky anymore, and you can't let your Suyo die all that early.
It's going to be challenging. Looking at the options on the board still, the high-lows is still available for both sides. We are going to see the Edith pick up alongside the Beatrix, so gold lane matchup will be the Beatrix up against the Claude. How are we feeling about it?
I mean, you get the Kirk special, you feel comfortable, you got the Brusco Bruiser special, and as we've said, Kelro's gonna feel good on just about anything, and this isn't even an out-of-meta pick here. This is a Beatrix. It's been a solid pick throughout all of M6.
Solid A+ pick here. One more for TLID, the XP laner. What does Aran get here? Hylos is open. Do you do that? Do you go through the shortcut and then just drop the
Phobius. That's the Phobius available too. They're gonna go for the Fredrin, the answer to the joy, but
where's it going?
It has to be XP. They're pulling a team spirit.
So it's that trap you were talking about, but a game late and the other team.
I mean, because we've seen it before, so it's not all that crazy. But now, we'll see how TLID uses this draft against Fnatic Onyx Philippines, which arguably they got all the favorites on each hand. And with that, we're throwing it over to the casters.
Very interesting draft. We already know what party it's about to be here for this one from TLID. But interesting. I mean, even with that Fredrin last pick, what do you guys feel like?
I don't know. I feel like the Fredrin, I guess it's a little interesting, right? You're still able, you have multiple ways to lock down and try and keep Joy in place. I guess that's what they wanted from the beginning.
Hey, looks as zany, as goofy as a Hilda XP when I saw it first at MPL ID. And Aran was the guy who tried it first. He was the guy who brought that pick. So, Fredrin XP, Aran, I trust you.
We'll see if that trust is in the right place, because one thing's for sure, TLID is one of the few teams that brings out so many unique combinations of heroes and picks, and they do it for game number 4 here. And even out the series, we'll see if it's enough. But also on the flip side, the other side here, for Fnatic Onyx Philippines, they're more so, leaning on some comfort for this. And Brusco, like I said, on the Khalid, has had great performances, and you take away the Lu Yi from Super Prince as he gets whittled down already. Oh, Brusco's could be in trouble. He's going to go ahead and Cyclone out of there. But at least now you have the Valentina for Super Prince, so he could actually take Yehezkiel's ults too.
Suppose, but he's playing a very tight game here. No flicker, as expected, but unless...
Oh, that's not good. Revitalize from Aran will not save him. Super Prince still, despite getting bullied early, claims first blood.
Interesting motions across the map here. I wasn't hoping that was going to happen, but at the very least, it's good for Fnatic Onyx BH, right? They find one for themselves, and at this point, it's about brawling, getting all those battle spells out of them as soon as possible.
Yeah, they have to go ahead and play against this. Kirk taking a couple shots from Aran. Again, an XP Fredrin is not something you see too often, so this will be interesting to see how he plays it, because also he's running the Revitalize alongside Witty. And we know that with this kind of lineup and these kind of heroes from Team Liquid ID, Brusco again?
Surge? Sever Fabian! No, he just used a Queller. He took him down. 1-1.
Yep, so far Yehezkiel's been doing a very good job making sure this duality is able to proc just in time and making it difficult for Brusco to kind of take that space, right? Every single time he tries to forcefully push out those waves, he's going to have to pay the tax.
And this is why having that Lu Yi is so valuable on these lineups, because it's just, you're able to go ahead and get, even if it's just the reactions that you're using and not the diversion, so to speak, it's a big threat. But the fight for this turtle is already going to break out here.
Okay, almost fully stacked, goes in, but King Kong is there, brings a spot. King Kong wins the retreat battle. No Revitalize for them to play with. Even when Aran places it down, Brusco, Raging Sandstorm, Witty doesn't escape from the primal wrath of Kirk.
Why would they take such a big risk on this? And they didn't even hit their level 4s on time, right?
Yeah.
I think that Aran, yes, at the very least, you are somewhat strong, but you don't have your first items as well. No Thunderbelt, really. And you're going to get bursted down by a majority of these heroes until later on into the game. But let's not forget, Witty's not level 4. Even Yehezkiel wasn't level 4. I just don't see the angle.
And that's why FNOT punished them when they had that angle available to them too. Witty's still not level 4, will take quite a bit of poke damage down who's going to back off here, but this is, again, a sign. And we see King Kong do this all the time when he picks up the Joy. He loves to jungle this quick around the map, and he's already got a gap between him and Fabian.
Oh, yeah. It's already really tough, Witty. Shortcut Kirk, instant flicker out. Fabian will take it so that he can go to the XP crab.
Yep, real fast on him. He wants to catch up as much as possible here, but great reaction time coming here from Kirk, right? At least he was able to move out of the way and not give a free kill over, because so far, oh, hold on.
Revitalize from Witty. King Kong's damage a bit too much to handle. Electrifying beats onto Yehezkiel. And reaction, King got very low, still able to escape. And man, up top, it's a blazing duet from Aaron. Still no damage though. Kelra walking up. Diversion.
Oh, outplayed! Talk about an IMU of a lifetime to find the solo onto Yehezkiel. Nowhere safe.
IMU is what they said. And Yehezkiel gone. Now a lot of the pressure there on the top side, and you would think, you know, with the lineup Team Liquid ID has, they're the ones playing around, keeping the head on the swivel from Fnatic Onyx PH with the macro utility that this lineup brings. But it seems like FNOP's able to do that instead.
Yeah, and they're doing a phenomenal job so far. 3K lead, and Iran unfortunately does not outpush Kirk at this point in time until he gets maybe a Molten, but until then, we'll basically be seeing Fnatic Onyx PH be very happy around the turtle, which is interesting because you're expecting TLID to come in with more creative angles, right? Now that their ults are available, they should be looking for flanks, looking for opportunities to sneak their way into the battle lines.
Again, part of this is the utilization of the Valentina for Super Friends. Shortcut going to be dropped down. And that's King Kong, so he's like, you know what? Shortcut came through there on that side of the map. We'll go and make our way to the turtle and start this up to lock it down. Second one. Not sure if there's going to be any contest, so it looks like TLID just goes in positions.
And Fnatic Onyx PH, they read perfectly into it, right? They see that TLID escape, they see the diversion where it was initially going to go. They know for a fact that they've got no resources, so therefore, we don't need everybody around the turtle.
It's just really tough right now for Liquid ID to do anything. Primal right down below.
No way.
Aran, Liquid from Current. Revitalize from Aran, now chasing down, but King Kong comes to his safety and gets the kill.
Can we just say,
very long, kill
done, nicely done. Brusco applying so much pressure across the information, allowing these kills to be falling through for both Kelra as well as, I mean, King Kong, the fact that King Kong was already 2v1ing it, he's really pressing his lead.
He's has a massive lead right now, but just again as a team, it's mind-boggling to think that Fnatic Onyx PH is finding all these fronts across the map from bottom to the jungle and then the top. That it's Team Liquid ID really trying to catch their breath and try to find these moments where they can actually keep things from getting too out of hand. And now the focus here, tier 1 bottom lane, they all rotate down.
Raging Sandstorm from Brusco just onto Aran. Kelra was trying to siege this turret down in the bottom lane, and Liquid are caught in a tough spot now. They have a composition that needs to somewhat snowball. Secure neutral objectives at least at the start, and they have failed to do that.
And the best part is the item builds that we're seeing. Everybody is making sure that they've got some tough, and now here comes the shortcut as Aaron Cheeky is chunking down Brusco, but it's not over yet as the front line is in trouble.
Quick sand guard, King Kong! Going and diving into the back of Yehezkiel, trying to survive King Kong again! Aaron Cheeky, and Brusco will try to sandwich him down. The BMI into Kelra's debut!
You can't stop him, you can only hope to contain him. King Kong unleashes in the back line, and now that's another objective. Turtle secured here for FNOP. And just Team Liquid ID really trying to decide, you know, we brought some uniqueness to this game. We brought some spicy picks to the draft and maybe a whole lot of utility, but we haven't been able to use it.
Have you guys ever watched a video of a hydraulic press? Because that's what Fnatic Onyx PH are doing right now in Team Liquid. They've got all the utility to be able to come up with creative angles, but these fights have been so convincing from Fnatic's side. And I gotta give it to Kirk, he's doing a great job, but at the same time, their pinches are like none other. Their collapses are so clean.
Again, it's that thing I was saying earlier about Kirk, man. You know, he's underrated in the sense that when the Edith is also picked up, it's not something you so much think about. He also loves to play with the Warcry emblem, so he's a little more aggressive. But like you said, Gideon, it's the fact of the layering, whether they're initiating with Brusco's Raging Sandstorm or playing into Kirk's initiations with a Flicker, Onward, and Earth Shatter. But look at this, focus now on this side of the map. They want to take down that tier 2 if they can. TLID knows this. They'll rotate and try to keep things under control. But again, keep an eye on Brusco. Doesn't have the flicker though, but King Kong.
Oh, he's gonna go. Oh my God! There's apathy from Kelra, almost taking Hezkiel down. Or Shadow Raging Sandstorm as well. Revitalize to keep him at bay. Aran still there, super friends. Wow! He stole the friction and he collected all of them.
Oh my goodness, melted every single one. An energy eruption of a lifetime coming in from Super Prince.
What was the IQ on Super Prince and the decisions, and that's why we said this Valentina pick would play an integral part in winning this game, because you have so many options, but then the creativity.
Oh! Kelra! And now King Kong on Hezkiel!
What a statement piece coming in from Kelra. A masterclass, doesn't miss one of those shots, making sure that TLID are always on their toes. It's 9 minutes into the game with one of the biggest leads we've seen so far. 11.6K, 17-1.
What do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do against
praying.
this?
You start praying and hoping and counting that you have another 5 minutes in you.
I think the party's over here for Witty in this one, because right now there's no way you show up for these to contest. Even the diversion so late, they send in Aaron Shiki, BMI's back to the base. But it was too late at that point, and now with a massive deficit to work against, and the shield's already popped in the mid lane and turret down to the top, they are down to almost the bare bones. Look at the difference in itemization.
Dear Lord, dear Lord.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah, Hezkiel, it just has to eat it. Like, what else can you say about it, right? You don't have the items to even get into your second item spike. And unfortunately, an Enchanted Talisman, yes, you can throw out abilities, but half the time, eating those shots is all you can hope for.
When you're super ahead, you go for Heptaseas, and that's what Kelra is doing right now. Another random shot, Raging Sandstorm backwards, but it's all just to get space for Kelra, to get the base turrets.
They got the base turret mid already down, but still, Lord is up.
Oh my Lord.
They used the conceal earlier on, so TLID back to go!
Kelra! Render's apathy! The gun in the gold lane! And now it's Brusco diving in! King Kong clean it up!
He made the standard strong! He's ending this game!
If you're a marksman! A gold lane god! Kelra! What a shot!
What a shot, what a lineup, what a performance again, and now they find themselves championship points for the super fan of Fnatic Onyx Philippines.
I've never seen such a dominating performance in my life from a gold laner. You said you just gotta pray to who, and the god in the gold lane is playing in the MVP landed on.
Got to the gold lane at this point after that one, man. Panel. What about this game? What happened here? Take it away.
I feel like for this one, the analysis is a little bit more simple. But Fnatic Philippines, they got their best heroes on their best users. They know what to do with this. The Edith. Like, even the Beatrix, you saw that final shot.
They played their best MOBB, and I think this was more on Liquid IDs. It's safe to say, it's fair to say that they may have overthought and overloaded on utility. Our casters were doing their best to call all of these shots from different angles of the shortcut, the diversion, even Aran coming through it. LaFell saw this from a mile away. Hell, I'll tell you now, maybe even a light year away, but I think it came out at the wrong time. That Fredrin trying to, what is it, still counter the Joy? It was a non-starter.
Yeah, the draft, I think the idea was there on paper, right? But I love how he said overthought it. I think it was a little too much, too big brain, too trying a little bit too hard, when once again, you could have just kept it steady, kept it simple, because Fnatic Onyx was the one who had to recover from the previous draft.
Yeah, and they didn't go experimental this time. They went back to their roots, back to the basics, and it definitely makes a difference in the game from what you've seen. And yeah, that's a rough one. It was interesting seeing a chip pick up alongside the Liu, right? I mean, we already had the element of surprise. I feel like it was definitely overkill. They could have went for more crowd control, any other element outside of trying to go for more of that mobility and that element of surprise. So yeah, that's a stinger. I feel like it's another one that boils down to this is not a micro game. This one was draft.
I feel like one of the things that we have to say, TLID did not interrupt Fnatic on Philippines from doing what they want to do, either in draft or in game. And I kind of feel like that's the biggest thing. But now, looking at this, it looks like we just had the fastest game. Fnatic on Philippines against CLID, given before it was 10 minutes and 34 seconds. Before this was 10 minutes and 43 seconds. Team Spirit against Falcons. So game number 4. In terms of the domination, that was the fastest game so far.
9 seconds is the difference between these two records. And what a recovery. We were going to blast Kelra's Harith. Did this performance on the Matrix do more than make up for that? He redeemed himself, picked up his signature hero, and I don't know, we were watching the same game as every single gun.
By the end, he was one-shotting people too, and I mean, he's just a monster overall.
Yeah, man, that was a dominating performance, right? And that's not just any game. They're sitting at match point now.
Oh yeah, match point, one win away from being a world champion. And again, we gotta look back into the game. We gotta look at the draft here. We gotta look at the itemization for the move, and then we're gonna see, did they really overthink this? Because again, looking into the draft, one of the question marks is that the Granger was not present, but I gotta ask, what's the Claude and the idea here? Because it's so we've seen the Lu Yi Claude interaction where you're able to basically hold every single lane, but is it too much?
The world's longest BMI is what you're referring to. Jackson and I were actually bouncing back on saying that they didn't pick the Granger and they picked the Claude instead because it runs away better from the Joy, protects itself a little better from the Khalid, but was that all it was?
Yeah, I mean, where's the damage coming in, right? You went for this tanky Fredwin EXP, you go for the Claude, is super shred in late game, and FNOB's draft isn't even that tanky, it's fast moving, it's aggressive overall, and I think at that point, I mean, FNOB knows, they know, okay, we're just going to push the gas here, we're not going to give you a moment to get any items in. Aaron Shilu didn't even finish Trinity build by the end of that game.
21 death, by the way. Onyx only had one death, only one casualty.
On Brusco.
21-1.
In the early game.
In the early game. Like, that's insane, but I kind of feel like that's the biggest problem for TLID. Like, we're going to look at the damage numbers after this, but I don't know, looking at the draft, I'm not seeing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, not a lot of damage, and it's interesting. When I see a Lu pick up, when I see a Chip pick up, there's two ways you can play this, right? You can be proactive, you can go in and try and get these initial setups, you can be the first one to get there, or you can be reactive and wait for the other team. And right now, Fnatic on it, their foot's the one on the gas. You're seeing that the diversion plays from Super Friends come out way faster than Yehezkiel.
So TLID were lost in their own portal, you could say so. They were going through the same portal and looping back like Ouroboros over and over and over again. And I think the word we're looking for is the damage profile. There is head on Claude, yes, if you make it to like the 16, 17 minute mark. There is burst on the Lu Yi if you're able to get those duality stats on. But that aside, Fabian needs some good setup to be able to finish dudes off with the Sever. So there's nothing that they're doing after. It makes sense why they only got one kill.
From your point, I'm hearing one thing. ABC needs to happen, and then the damage comes in. That's where the B comes from. But is that really what you want? Do you want a draft where you have to set everything up just to have that one big moment?
Not against a team like Fnatic Onyx. They are a team known to play lightning rounds. Yo, they set another record here. Yeah. Lightning struck 3 times, bro.
It was just a little spaced out, but still FNOB back in gear, you know. Team Liquid ID, they tried to hit the gas. They tried to hit those shortcuts. They tried to find moments where they could catch FNOB off guard, but every time it just kind of fell short.
Looking at the damage numbers makes me feel a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of damage over Kelra. Spearheading the way on this Beatrix, the signature pickup for him as well. And I mean, this is what happens when you have somebody, Witty on the other side, running this shit, not really able to get the setups they were looking for. You know, putting a lot of the crowd control into the hands of Yehezkiel. And he can't really initiate, especially when there's nobody there to frontline the damage.
Party never started. Kelra was too busy keeping them in his scopes. He was lining them up.
I mean, look at this. Earn Cheeky didn't deal 20,000. Yehezkiel 20. Fabian 3. These are not the damage numbers. Like, here's the thing. You even said it to you. On time is not even that tanky. You don't need to do that much damage. And it's still not enough.
Not enough indeed. And 21-1. Another hard pill to swallow. And a good leap forward for Fnatic on the Philippines. TLID, they've got to win 3 in a row to turn this back around.
And now we have our MVP, the monster mid laner, Super Prince, on that Valentina, even making that crazy play. I am you using the Frederick's ult, the energy eruption, catching tree.
Even before that, early game picks up the diversion, gets to the middle tower, behind the head kill, and gets the solo kill on him. I mean, overall, you suddenly were like, okay, I get to leave, but now he has the diversion as well. We literally see it in full force within the first few minutes of the game.
Man's a straight up taskmaster. He sees what his opponent's going to do, says, I can do it better, and does it. I'll be honest with y'all. That Fredrin taunt play was good, but I think it was just extra layers of flair. Because I'll tell you now, with the draft that Team Liquid came in with, as overly creative as it was, they also kind of put themselves in weird positions for Prince to do that.
Yeah, and that's when you see a proactive mage, right? When you're running on this Valentina, you take the diversion from the Louis E, and you punish, you look for the opportunity, teleport across the map, and you find the setup. Not only that, but the damage as well. Super Prince was everywhere on this map, rotating around Fnatic, Onyx just all over every objective.
What is that KDA? 2-0 and 14, 16 out of 21. I reckon that's what, 76-77% KP. Across the map, there was just a handful of kills he was not part of.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those final plays here that is just monsters. And it's like such a quick switch to catch everybody there. Super Friends is definitely, I mean, everybody's online right now, and so far, just about everyone on the team could have earned an MVP throughout these last few games.
Yeah, definitely another one in the books for Fnatic Onyx, but it's not.
It's hard to say.
I would say it's not too far out of the ballpark, but it's hard to come back after a 3 or 4-1 deficit. 3-1 deficit. So 3 games in a row for TLID. If they're able to pull this off, this game, it wasn't a micro engagement, it was the draft. First, you gotta fix that. And then once they fix that problem, you run into the problem you ran into in the first few games, where the micro from Fnatic Onyx was overwhelming them.
So now honestly, when looking at the previous 2 games, this feels more of a match between the coaches instead of the players, because the draft is impacting this a little bit more. But now we got a player that we want to analyze a little bit more in this game, where Super Prince on this Valentina, the Valentina reminds us that this is a hero that can say, I'm better than you, because having the access to the 2 extra dashes, as well as clicker, essentially giving you 3 extra dashes is huge. Super Prince starts off by taking the energy eruption, and then looking at the opportunity, he's just waiting in the flanks, and then he flickers forward, gets tree. This is the ability of a Valentina, where you have the flexibility, you have options, you can be a little bit more aggressive, you can be defensive, but here's the thing, you even have utility.
Yeah, the Monster Mage actually used a flicker plus the Shadow Strikes to be able to get that third skill. Ladies and gentlemen, do note, the taunt is what you steal when you jump in. And as soon as I saw him take that Fredrin ult, I'm like, oh no, what's he gonna do this? How is he gonna make this work? And apparently, they were in comms. They were talking about it. I have the ult. Make them stay. Kill them all.
Which is insane too, because Valentina's been a hero that has kind of not been picked up as much, because she's so up close and personal. It can be a risk factor. But the way that Super Prince is playing that right now, it just fits so well in with the way that FNOP like to play, that aggressive, in-your-face style, not giving you a second to breathe.
I mean, Luigi's not that big of a range. That's how you deal with Valentina, range. And Lily showed up first, like, there's no Barca, there's no Eve, like, what does the Valentina have to worry about? So it does feel like this is more about the draft, so this is more of the battle of the coaches.
Yeah, the coach is definitely going back to the drawing book, and another win in the board for Fnatic. And now the biggest challenge yet for TLID. We're in the Altiana Arena. We're at the Grand Finals. They have a chance to be a world champion and to have it possibly ripped out of your hands from Fnatic Onyx Philippines. Talk about pressure.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I feel like TLID They got to slow it down when it comes to what they want to prioritize coming into the draft. And with that, we're going to give them a little bit more time. In fact, Eterna is standing on court side where Chicken reports what's going on down there. So, Eterna, what's going on?
Hey everyone, it's Turnip, and right now courtside, and it looks like a celebrity is in the audience. It's none other than Final Jaidi. Welcome to Malaysia.
Thank you.
Oh wow, so many fans. You guys know it? Of course, Alhamdulillah. But it looks like we are at championship points right now, so we are one game away of crowning our new world champs. If it goes that way. Are you here to support Indonesia?
Yes, of course. I came here to M6. Want to support Indonesia. Indo Pride.
Indo Pride. Do you read that, guys? Indo Pride? See, I don't know if there's a lot of Indonesians in the building or it's just a serumpun thing. Is it serumpun or is it Indonesia? Wow. Alright. So did you fly with
Batam.
Alright. So I've been reading a lot of articles about you. I've been reading a lot of articles about you.
Okay.
And it seems like you've been involved in the MLBB scene for quite some time as a pro player.
It was a long time ago.
You can say it was a long time ago.
Top Global Lunok, Top Global Aurora. What else?
Yes. I was Global Aurora, Global Luna, Scary, and Gushian. But that was a very long time ago.
Is that why you cosplayed Akai? Were you Top Global Akai too?
Sorry?
Did you cosplay Akai because you were Top Global Akai as well?
No. My father was play with Gatot Kaca.
Where is he? Pamu.
At
home. You didn't bring him?
Yeah.
Did he let you come?
Yes.
Oh, he let you come. It's okay. Okay. So Pamu, thank you so much for letting Final come. It's been a blast.
I love you, Pa.
Love you too. Okay. Next question. So, what do you think? I mean, you've had experience as a pro player. You know the game well.
Yep.
What do you think TLID can do to come back from this?
About that, I cannot say for sure, but I was hoping and I believe that TLID was performing the best, the players, the coach. So we are Indonesia hoping TLID can bring us some comeback moment.
How? What do you think?
Maybe I don't know. We're just hoping because they coming here. It's already make us proud. And then we're still everything. No matter what happened, we're still proud of TLID.
I like that. I think everyone agrees. Wait. Is that another celebrity that we see?
Yes, very famous.
Is she your friend?
Famous in Indonesia, number one.
What's her name?
Sorry, may I know your name?
Echa.
Oh, Echa. Echa.
I heard you
come from?
From Bekasi.
From Bekasi. Are you here to support Indonesia?
Of course, I'm here to support TLID. Man, the fans are really in the building. It's great to see all the support here. And last question for you, before we head into maybe a message to your fans is, what is your score prediction for our grand finals?
4-3.
4-3?
For TLID.
Close best of 7 going all the way?
Yep.
Alright. Looks like everyone agrees as well. Echa agrees? 4-3? 4-3. Okay. Maybe Fadil Jadi, you have a message to your fans out there, or maybe the MLB community?
Can I say bahasa? Buat semuanya yang lagi nonton, pokoknya apapun yang terjadi kita doain buat Indonesia, buat TLID. Selalu support, apapun yang terjadi kita tetap bangga.
Hashtag Indo Pride. Alright, thank you so much, Fadil. Thank you so much, Echa. Thank you so much to all the fans in the building, because we are going to throw it back into the panel. Boys, take it away for championship points.
Thank you very much, Eterna, and if we're going to make that 4-3 happen. Now TLID, they can't drop a single game. They have to be clean. They have to be perfect. And that's going to be very difficult considering they're going up against Fnatic on Philippines.
Yeah, there's no
more
more mistakes from here, right? Their backs are against the wall. I like to always say pressure makes diamonds or burst pipes, and hopefully today they can find a way to turn this back around. Because I like to see things go the distance. All the way out from North America, I've seen even our grand finals in the NCT went the distance, and I'm trying to manifest that into reality here in the Oxyata Arena.
So you're saying Liquid will bounce back here now. It's the only choice. It's the only thing that they can do is tighten up that draft. Don't overthink it. Get good damage profiles. Win lane to lane and play the best MLB they played all ever.
Or Fnatic on just drafts like they did in the game they lost.
Which what we already said we can't count on that, right? TLID's gotta go full Ultra Instinct mode right now. Which they look like they have.
Game 4 they did.
I don't know. It's rough. That last game, draft was off. I think there was a couple plays that were off. I think at this point it is. They gotta play perfectly. Like LaFell said, and that is tough against Fnatic on a Philippines. They are playing perfectly non-stop.
Yeah, and now yesterday what happened was after both best of fives, we had an MCG All-Star match. So we're gonna give you guys a little bit of about what happened yesterday, just in case if you guys missed that matchup. A lot of chaos entered, so let's see who won that one. Magic Chess fans, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Our voices have finally been heard. We're paving the way for a more competitive and bright future for one of our favorite games in the world. Welcome to Magic Chess Go Go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Magic Chess Go Go All-Stars 2024.
Powerful tank. On the other side, we've got Team Gaming, Aggressive Jet No Limit, 3-star Football, and FIFA. But not quite enough to finish things off, and that means that he as well will be eliminated. The captain of Team Magic taken out at 7th place.
2 members of Team Magic are already down. Go. They are securing that top 4 position for now, as things change here right now.
And it is none other than our finale here for Shilu, guys! Our winner of the Magic Chess Go Go All-Star Show match!
The new era of Magic Chess Battle is about to begin. Maybe one day you'll join us in a stage like this as a pro player in MCGG. Thank you for watching and staying with us. My name is Reptar. Good night, everyone. See you next time.
Looks like Chicken Guys and Ding was the lot.
But
Magic Chess Go looks like they will have a world championship as well. So make sure you guys download it as soon as it's available for your region and test it out. But now we gotta focus on this upcoming match because Fnatic on the Philippines are at match point. And TLID, unfortunately in the previous game, they drafted a little bit too cautiously, but in terms of how they played, maybe a little bit too aggressively. But the problem is, when to play aggressive, you don't have enough damage. So it looks like the identity of the draft was not really replicated in the identity of the gameplay.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta find that perfect medium, right? You gotta win in the draft, you also gotta win in the micro engagement. So getting an aggressive composition could be the key to that, but you also need the crowd control. You need Witty to get on something. If he's gonna go damage, then you have to make up with your head skill getting on something with the crowd control. There's no in between. You can't go on one side or the other. They have to both play their role and they have to play it down to a T.
So let's say the little voice in my head, the member of the cavalry that's in my head is saying, if they some way somehow end up with a perfect draft, that they use somewhere down the line, like against SRG last night, can they do it? Can they take down Fnatic here and maybe possibly go for the reverse sweep at this point?
I mean, if they can get perfect draft after perfect draft after perfect draft, then yes, I do think it's possible. I don't think it's solely
If it was solely mechanics, if it was solely fights alone, they would have lost that game that they won, right? They would have lost even though FNOP Brew draft a little bit. Even though FNOP kind of messed up and draft, FNOP would have been able to win that. I remember telling myself, if FNOP wins this game right here, they're just built different. TLID doesn't stand a chance. But we have seen TLID at least win something. So we know the possibilities are there. We know there are some answers. But those answers don't come cheap. They cannot make a single mistake in the draft at all.
Yeah, gotta find that needle in the haystack. Should be the game plan for TLID before taking things one game at a time. So yeah, it's gonna be a bargain, it's gonna be a gamble, but it's not impossible. Speaking of impossible, speaking of gambles, on the next chapter of greatness, quote coming out from Coach Why Not from Fnatic Philippines. Watching them overcome past hardships and come together for different teams, make winning EPL Philippines incredibly heartfelt. Winning M6 would mean even more, not just for us as a team, but for Onyx Philippines as an organization, as it's a title that has long eluded them.
Let me tell y'all real quick before we continue with the code. This is 5 years in the making. They were here in M1, did not even qualify for knockouts. They were here for M3 in Singapore, got swept in the grand finals. And now in M6, they're one game away from taking home that trophy.
And looking ahead, players are still young, full of energy, and have bright futures. M6 might just be the beginning. And that might be even scarier. They're ready for chapter 2.
All right. Chapter 2? More like a full-on sequel, more like a full-on book, because again, I think it's Onyx time to finish the story. This is a long-term narrative that Coach Why Not is putting a book into. Some old players are actually watching in the crowd right now. You know what I'm talking about. We're here competing, and now it's the same organization, just a set of different players fulfilling that dream.
And now we're looking at the head-to-head here between the coaches, Coach Why Not as well as St. Lucas. When it comes to the win rate, pretty big difference here, 78% for Coach Why Not, 60% for St. Lucas. And looking at the first pick and second pick, honestly, pretty even there, not really that much of a difference. If we're looking at the banter, Onyx, this is not on the alpha.
They're on willing
to
approach things just like up there as a 1-1 game.
And possibly run in an M6 winning tournament. What is that? If they win here, that would have been a clean run, not a single series loss.
And here's the thing. All the games, they didn't go past 50 minutes. Like this best of 7 is actually going pretty fast. I mean, at this point, it's only like what? 7 something. We started roughly 5, so it's only been 2 hours.
So the question is, are developers happy that this is where these athletes are taking this game? The fact that our mobile MOBA is playing very fast, or are these teams just pushing the limit of what's possible and ending in the most efficient way?
I mean, if they end fast, they go to the next game faster, so more games can be played. But hold on to that thought. We got an answer here from Brusco. For you, how does it feel being in the grand finals of your first international tournament? He said, I'm happy. But after reviewing the game and talking to our coach, still not satisfied with my performance. I think I can still give more.
You know what?
What more?
The MLBB universe doesn't understand the genius of Brusco. I think there's so much going on in this young man's mind. When I talked to him the other night, there's so much he wanted to share, but only so much we can do in 10 minutes. I think if you let that MTAG go a little longer, he would have told you.
I think we've seen so many different dimensions to Brusco. We've seen the surprise attack bruiser that wants to get in the back line, that doesn't just sit around and let you hit him. And then even some of these previous games with the guitar, he can be more of that, I'm just here to absorb damage, I'm just here to different playstyles that we've seen from him throughout the entirety of M6.
He's definitely a roamer you can rely on, and he's been doing great so far in this series. Now, looking at this, technically, the TLID at the deficit. If Fnatic Onyx closes this out, they win from the upper bracket, which the last time we saw that upper bracket win was what? M1?
No, every single one has been a lower bracket.
Oh no, upper bracket, right?
Yeah, every single win so far has been lower bracket teams winning.
Only M1 upper bracket.
But as Leo stated, Philippines are known to break curses. They're known to show up when needed. And
the first 4-1 in the history.
Just over and over, man.
And it's all full circle here in the Altiata Arena, moments away from potentially the final game in M6. It's been a journey here, and it's up to TLID to rewrite that story if they want to remain in the series.
A lot on the shoulders of the young